In this video, we're going to be taking a look at converting and comparing customary units of measurement. Today's goal, by the end of this video, I want you to be able to compare, contrast, and also convert any type of customary units of length. Now, when I say customary units of length, these are the units of length that the United States uses, while pretty much the rest of the world uses metric units of length. So when I say customary units of length, I'm talking about feet, inches, yards, miles. Now what I want you to do is turn to page 4 or 5 in your math book, and we're going to unlock this problem together. So if you need to take time to do that, like I said, page 4 or 5 in your math book, and let's unlock this problem. Now at the very top it says, to build a new swing, Mr. Matson needs 9 feet of rope for each side of the swing and 6 more feet for the monkey bar. The hardware store sells rope by the yard. Now the first question it's asking us is, how many feet of rope does Mr. Matson need? Now we can see that he needs 9 feet of rope for each side of the swing. Okay, so we're trying to figure out how much does he need for the swing. So what we can do is we can do, since it's 9 feet for each side, there's 2 sides, so that actually equals 18. You can do 9 times 2 or even 9 plus 9. Now the next step is, how many feet does Mr. Matson need for the swing and the monkey bar combined? So what we can do, we can take the total amount from the swing, which was 18 feet, add it to the 6 feet from the monkey bar, so we can do 18, and I want you to write this down on page 405, 18 from the monkey bar, from the swing, and 6 from the monkey bar is going to give us 24 feet. Okay, now moving down, it says Mr. Matson needs to find how many yards of rope he needs to buy. He will need to convert 24 feet to yards. How many groups of 3 feet are in 24 feet? Okay, so we can see, we need to think about some things first of all. Okay, so we can see that this little picture here, it says a 12-inch roller is 1 foot, and this represents a yardstick. So you can see that 1, 2, 3 feet equals 1 whole yard. You can see this right here. This is not necessarily 3 feet if you were to measure it, but it is drawn to scale there. So 3 feet does equal 1 yard. Okay, now knowing that information, we're going to be able to convert 24 feet to yards. Okay, so we can see that we have our total feet, and what we're going to do, we're going to divide, okay, however many feet are in a yard, which is 3. Okay, and then from here, our total yards will actually be 8. 24 divided by 3 will give us 8. Okay, so we can see down here, so Mr. Matson needs to buy 8 yards of rope. Now what I want you to do is answer this question at the bottom right hand corner of page 405. It says, what operation did you use when you found groups of 3 feet and 24 feet? Okay, did we multiply or divide when you convert a smaller unit to a larger unit? Okay, and it is important to know that whenever you're thinking about converting to a smaller to larger unit, okay, you are always going to divide. However, when you're converting a larger to a smaller unit, you're going to be multiplying. And we'll take a look at that as we move on today. Now let's take a look at the example 1 on page 406. It says, use a table to find the relationship between miles and feet. Now, what I want you to do is write this table in your notes, the customary units of length table. 1 foot equals 12 inches, 1 yard equals 3 feet, 1 mile equals 5,280 feet, and then finally 1 mile equals 1,760 yards. I do want you to write all of this right here in your math journal. Okay, so once again, we're trying to figure out the problem. The distance between the new high school and the football field is 2 miles. How does this distance compare to 10,000 feet? Okay, so first of all, we're going to take a couple steps to solve this problem. It says step 1, what we're going to do on page 406, we're going to convert 2 miles to feet. Okay, now remember that 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. So what we need to do, we need to multiply, and we'll write multiply here. the total number of miles by, and we're going to multiply that by 5,280. And the reason why it's 5,280, because that's how many feet are in 1 mile. Okay, so we're going to multiply 5,002 times 5,280. Can do this right on a calculator, and that gives us 10,560. Okay, so just going to fill this out here on page 406. 2 times 5,280. That equals 10,560. And then we can just simply rewrite 2 miles equals 10,560 feet. And then we can write over here 10,560 feet. 10,000. To do this in your book with me, 560 feet. It's actually greater than 10,000 feet. So we can complete the problem here. Since 10,560 feet is greater than 10,000, the distance between the new high school and the football field is longer than 10,000 feet. So you can see we were going from a larger unit of measurement to a smaller unit of measurement, miles to feet. So that means we were multiplying. We were able to solve that problem by doing those steps. Now let's look at example 2 together. It says mixed measures use more than one unit of measurement. You can convert a single unit of measurement to mixed measures. Okay, so it's telling us to convert 62 inches into feet and inches. Okay, so it says use the table that we have written down in your math journal about the different customary units of length. Okay, and we need to think about this. Think 12 inches equals 1 foot. Okay, so some things we need to think about. I'm changing from a smaller unit to a larger unit, so we need to divide. Okay, so I divide. Let's write that right in here. Okay, and I also want you to write in your math journal L to S equals multiplication. S to L equals division. That means larger to smaller you multiply, smaller to larger you're going to divide. I do want you to write that right in your math journal. I'm going to erase this now. And let's look at step number 2. Okay, so it says it's time to convert. So we have 62 total inches, and we're going to divide that by however many inches are in a foot, which is 12 inches. And 62 divided by 12, I know that 12 goes into 62. It's going to be 5 times, with a remainder of 2 left over. My whole number will be my feet. My remainder is going to be the inches. Okay, so knowing this, so 62 inches, we can see, is equal to 5 feet, 2 inches. Okay, now what I want you to do is answer this problem at the bottom. Explain how to convert the mixed measures 12 yards, 2 feet to a single unit of measurement in feet. And then also I want you to answer the question, how many feet is it? So I want you to pause the video, answer this question, I'll have the answer for you. Okay, I now have the answer for you. What I did is I multiplied 12 times 3, and I multiplied 12 because that's how many yards I had, and I multiplied it by 3 because that's how many feet are in a yard. That gave me 36, and then I just simply added my 2 feet at the end. 36 plus 2 gave me 38 feet. Now I want you to turn to page 407 to the Share and Show section, numbers 1 through 3. And I want you to do these 3 problems at your seat all by yourself, and then you can press play, and then I will have the answers for you. Just remember, larger to smaller, you multiply. Smaller unit of measurement to larger, you're going to divide. So I want you to pause the video now. And so I have the answers for you. I have 3,520. For number 1, I multiplied 1,760 times 2. That gave us the answer. And then for number 2, 6 yards times 3. That gave me 18 feet. And then finally, 90 inches equals 7 feet 6 inches. Okay, so the math talk explain how you know when to multiply to convert a measurement. You know that you need to multiply when you're going from a larger unit of measurement to a smaller unit of measurement. That's how you know when you need to multiply. And this is how you convert customary units of measurement. If you have any issues with this concept, please come and see me.